So hello everyone. I hope you're having a nice day. So I just thought that before I reach out to the groups, I should just give you guys an idea of how to make your paper very easy and very fast. As you can see, my screen is up on ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT a lot, but I'll tell you how I use it. I use it correctly and use it ethically so that at the end of the day, your paper has some value. First and foremost, like I said, before I started writing the papers, I had to write out a structure for each of the papers in terms of what it should contain so that will guide us because we just shouldn't start writing amiss. So true, I shared the structure of a research paper to you, but that's for empirical research. But most of the research that we're dealing with here are not empirical. They actually are based on policies and laws that we need to review and recommendations that we need to make. So they are not empirical researches. We might not need to take any interviews or make any findings from any interviews. So these are pretty much kind of simple, but in terms of structure, there are things that have to be there. First and foremost, I have to tell you, when I'm writing with ChatGPT, there are other AI tools for writing. You have Gemini, you have Claude, you have Mistral, you have Copilots. But I like to use ChatGPT because it's very specialized and it has different GPTs doing different things. So this is my ChatGPT screen, as you can see. You come to the side here. These are a lot of the things I've worked on, but that's fine. So you see where you have GPTs here, and I'll click on it. I'm going to use Scholar GPT. Why do I use it? That's the one that is best suited for academic writing. It has also academic references that you can rely on. I know that for research papers, you can't do without academic references. You have to support every point with an academic reference. So for starters, I'm going to give you an example of what I should do in this paper. First and foremost, I click on my Scholar GPT, and once I click on it, it will come up and then I'll start engaging it rather than the regular ChatGPT. Because if you use the regular ChatGPT, tendencies that it will give you a lot of fake references. It's also not that deep in terms of learning and in terms of bringing out results when you're writing research papers. So this is my Scholar GPT here. And before I started, I actually took the topics I gave you guys and I asked for an outline. Basically, what should each one contain? So I'm just going to use an example about how you're going to start. I'm going to share the structures with you, but this is on a structure that I've already agreed on. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to go and find one of them and use them to show you what I want to do. So as you can see on my screen here, I have all these topics. These are all your topics, and I got structures for all of them. I'm sure you can add more, but I just wanted to let you know what we're doing or what I can do. So I'm going to take this one that is new. Not many people chose it, but now I have new people that may want to write on it, so I'll share it with them. Global interoperability in AI regulations, comparative governance models and pathways for harmonization across jurisdictions. So this is what this paper is supposed to contain. It says, first, define interoperability, explain why AI needs this, examine this. I may not use the structure because it's not that deep. So what I'll do is I'll go and copy the topic and prompt Scholar GPT and tell it to give me a structure of what this paper should contain if I'm going to do justice to the topic. So I'll come here and say I want to write a very detailed and I want to write a very extensive research paper for publication in an international, I can write international Scopus indexed journal. Don't worry about the vocabulary. Scopus is one of the ways of journaling, of indexing journal papers to know their ranking and things like that. So I said Scopus index so that it will give me a good quality. I'll just write the topic is on. I'll put the topic and tell it, give me an outline. Give me a very solid outline for this paper. What am I doing an outline? If you do an outline, it will show you what the paper should ideally contain, and then you can start prompting Scholar GPT one after the other on those out based on the outline. But what it means is that you're going to have a very rich paper. It has told me now look at the introduction, conceptual and theoretical framework, methodology. Okay, good. Government documents, case study, blah blah blah. Comparative analysis, United States, China, blah 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 blah. Canada, Japan, okay. Global South, interoperability. So this is going to be a very rich paper. It has given me everything I need for the outline. Okay, now this is it. Good, good. So what we'll do is it's still bringing it out. Future directions. Oh, conclusions. Okay, so I have an outline for the paper. Now I'm just going to do the first one so that those in this group can take it from here. But I just wanted to show you what the paper should look like. So of course I'll copy everything that ChatGPT has said and go and save it in a Word document because I'll need it. Yeah, I'm going to need it when it's time to start writing, because I can't tell ChatGPT based on this produce a paper for me. So just write something of 500 words for me, and it won't be it won't be a very solid output. It will actually be a very watery paper. If you want to get the best of ChatGPT, now that you have the outline, you now prompt it one after the other. So of course, you know the abstract is what you write last, so I'll come with introduction. And then I'll still use the same thread and say, I'll come to ChatGPT. You should listen attentively because this is what will make your paper rich. Because for papers like this, you're expected to write at least 8,500 words. So this is where your 8,500 words will come from, and in a very short time. So people will have to divide it among yourself who will do what. So remember what I did was I pasted the introduction, all the things that I said introduction will have. So I will just come here and say, based on this, write a three-table introduction based on your recommendations. Then for your guidance, the introduction should, then I'll come here and paste those things that it told me that introduction should contain. Should, I might just say should contain, should be, and I always like to use this word, extensive discussion and should contain the following. Now I won't click I won't start bringing out outputs yet. I will just look at it, objectives, structure. I will remove this methodology because it will be a repetition. There's a methodology somewhere. I may leave structure of the paper so that it gives a direction, but I'll come here and say write in in naturally flowing sentences. No bullet points. ChatGPT likes to write in bullet points. If you don't tell it to write in bullet points, academic papers should ideally not have bullet points. So no bullet points and no unnecessary headings. The only heading should be the introduction. Now I need references, and I need the references to be verifiable. I need this thing to be rich. I also need examples. So I'll tell it support each point with um, very recent references that are 100% accurate and verifiable. Do you know why I put this 100%? If you don't tell it to measure it, to just write anything. But I want it to be accurate and verifiable, and I want the references to be verifiable 100%. So, and I will say also infuse your writing with many examples to make it richer. Ensure that you also provide references and sources for your examples. Write this like a rich, write this. I want a rich academic paper. Very rich academic paper. So it brings out. Now, another thing I want to do is when it comes out, of course, I'll put it in Word, but this is what the introduction for this should be. And then when it's done printing and bringing out the output, I'll also tell you what to do with it. The references that it's going to bring, I'm going to have to verify them and be sure that they're that they're real. So it's bringing out all these references and it's writing. Of course, I'm not going to take everything it has written hook, line, and sinker. I'm still going to read it, but a lot of the work is done from here. It's still writing. Okay, it's still writing. Okay, it's still writing. So I'll take this and put them in my Microsoft Word, but there are things I'll do. This is AI writing, it's robotic. What it means is that I'm going to humanize it and I'm going to verify the references. I'll show you how all of this works out. Okay, good, it has done this. Good, it has brought out the references, which will take me to a very important part that I also want to show you. As lawyers, we're all used to writing with Oscola referencing, but this is journal publication. Not all of them use Oscola. Some of them use Harvard, some of them use Chicago, but the references have to be such that it represents an academic work. Remember, this is just the introduction. I haven't read it, I haven't done anything. It's still going to be read and humanized by you, which is where you all come in. But I'll show you now. I'll copy it and keep it somewhere. This is the introduction. This is what I'll do for the rest of the paper. I've done that for the introduction. I'll go to the next session, I'll copy, I'll go to the next section, I'll copy, just like that until I'm done with the 8. And if you guys are 3-3 in a group, I believe that this is something that if you share it, you can do it 1-1 or 2-2, and in one day you have a paper. Where the main work is will now be in the humanizing. Now I brought out the introduction. Of course, you know that your introduction should be justified. It's so, and then some journals like you to write in Times New Roman and double spaced. So I'll just justify it here, do the double spacing, so that it looks like actual. Now, what did I say about verifying this thing? It has brought out all these references. I don't know if they are right or wrong. I know that Scholar GPT brings out, correct references, but we can't depend on it. This is AI. It can be fake. It can be wrong. Sometimes the reference may be right, but the citation will have a mistake. So where do I get my referencing from? There is a tool that I use. It's called BibGuru. bibguru.com. This is what it looks like. I use it to arrange my referencing depending on the style. It's very helpful. You can see the spelling on the screen. It's very helpful for arranging your references and making it something that you just do at once. So I'll just click on get started now. It's very free. Yeah, it's very free, and you can verify any references. These are the ones that I've used. Now if you look at it, it will tell you before you paste the URL from the reference you got. This is in case the information source is from the website. This is in case it's from books. This is in case it's from articles, like journal articles. This is more. Now you can create folders, like add new. If you're writing on a new work, you can put add new, and you create a new folder for each work that you're working on. Now for the style, you can see here I have Harvard. You see the style here, but if you drop down, you see APA, MLA, Harvard, Chicago. I like to use Harvard because it's most common. And then of course, when it's time for submitting to the journal may want something else. So in that case, you have to reformat. But let's pass. How do I now verify these references that ChatGPT gave me? I'll go back to my ChatGPT, my Scholar GPT. I'll take this, but usually I won't take it with the link that it provided because it may not be correct. Sometimes there may be a mistake in it. It will now make it look as if this reference is fake. So I'll just go to BibGuru. Here I'll click on article and then I paste. Once I paste it, good, this is the actual correct reference. So I'll click on add. It drops down into the body of the reference list I've been using, and then I'll just come here and to copy and put it in my work. That way I remove the one ChatGPT created and replace it with this one. Of course, you know that these references are supposed to be arranged alphabetically. These bullet points should not be here, so they should all be removed. This is just ChatGPT's way of doing things. So I'll put it here. This is the actual reference. So I'll remove these bullet points. Then when I'm done, I'll arrange them alphabetically, but I have to wait till I'm done. Then when I am done, I'll just highlight all the lists here, assuming this is the actual list. Then I'll go here where you have A to Z on your home page in your Microsoft Word. Just do A to Z. You see sort by paragraphs and all that, and I say okay. They will just arrange alphabetically. See, it's already done. But anyway, I'll do it at the end of when I finish writing. Remember, this is just for the introduction. So I'll do it for the rest of the paper. Then when I'm done, you know this is AI. It is now time to humanize. I'll do another video on how and when we can humanize, but I want you guys to get this part first. Get it in all your papers. Let's be sure that all the papers are down, and then we can start the work of humanizing. Humanizing is where most of the work is, because that's where you're going to change the AI writing from an AI writing to a human writing. But you can see your paper is already panning out. This is the introduction. So please, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to share this, and then we'll take it from there. Thank you.